What's up guys, and welcome to this episode of Tech Apprentice. In this episode we are going to check out a budget soldering iron for traveling. Let's check this out right away. This is my budget soldering iron for when I travel. I actually bought it when I got here to the Netherlands because I left my Weller soldering station back in Montreal. It's not the greatest quality, but for the price I paid for it, I think it's great. I've used it a few times already, but it basically contains the soldering iron itself, some solder, a small little rack with a sponge, these tweezers over here, and for all this it costed about $15, which is pretty good I think for a budget kit. So let's check every component separately. The first component is obviously the soldering iron. It also came with multiple tips. There's one missing because, well, it was a fine tip, but it actually broke. The good thing about this soldering iron that I liked is that, well, it looks pretty sturdy. First of all, it has a grip over here, so it's comfortable when you hold it. To change the tips, it's actually fairly easy. You just unscrew this and that's it. That's your tip. When you want to place it back, well, you just slide it over here, slide the insert back there, and screw it down. Good about this soldering iron specifically is that it has a wheel for changing the temperature. The thing about this though is that the wheel is actually is pretty loose. So sometimes when I'm doing some jobs, I just by mistake hit it and I don't notice it and it goes down or it goes up, whatever, but mostly it goes down. So I'm trying to solder and the solder is not melting because the soldering iron is at like 200. Place it around 300, 350 and it does a great job. This specific one goes up to 450. So I think for most jobs it's actually enough. When you buy it from Banggood, you can choose between the 220 volts and the 110 volts version. It actually heats up pretty quickly. Usually I plug it in and I don't know, like 15-20 seconds later on, I can start soldering directly. It came with a small spool of solder and a small rack. The only thing I purchased on top of this that it's totally like optional, but I bought this thing over here in an electronics store back where I live. The reason is that mainly for this thing over here. When I wipe my soldering iron, I hate those little sponge. I think they do a crappy job and they never actually wipe everything, and it leaves the tip with some corrosion and stuff like that. The metal mesh or whatever you call it, I think it does a great job and I've never had any issues with that, and it keeps my my tips clean and it leaves me able to do a great soldering job on my electronics. Finally, the tweezers. I mostly use this one because that's my preference, but it comes with different tips. So this thing over here is a fine tip, but is curved. So I think sometimes for soldering some wires on tight spaces, that's better. It comes with this one over here, which is a flat tip. This one over here, which is pretty much like the curved one, but not curved, obviously. So it's just a fine tip. And it comes with this one, which is a finer tip. One is a bit longer than the other one, but essentially they are pretty much the same. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, or if you disliked it, just hit the dislike button. Either way, it helps me out. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for anyone who is looking at this video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. I pretty much answer all questions, so don't hesitate to ask one. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot as well. That's it. Have a good one, folks.
cry.